In this video, I'm going to tell you 11 things that I wish I knew about the NBA 2K24 builder before making my builds. I made multiple builds and spent hundreds of dollars, but after hearing the things I have to tell you about the builder, you will definitely save money that you might have wasted if you did not watch this video. I've done some research by watching some of the biggest creators who know the most when it comes to making builds, like NBA Toots, NBA 2K Lab, Laker Fan, and Joe Knows, just to name some off the top of my head. And the last thing that I tell you to change in the NBA 2K24 builder surprised me, so I'm sure it'll surprise you too. First, I want to talk about the change to acceleration in NBA 2K24. And if you remember, in 2K23, acceleration was super important when it came to dribbling. It basically determined how fast your player was going to move whenever he was dribbling around. But in 2K24, tests have been done, and it seems like the complete opposite to an extent. Along with the test, Mike Wang did come out and say acceleration is only used for first steps from a dead stand. Basically meaning once you start moving around and speed boosting, acceleration does not matter. When it does matter is when you're in that triple threat position and you try to speed boost out. So if you're in a triple threat, you try to jab step and then speed boost. Or if you're trying to do like a little step through and then speed boost out of that, that's when it does matter. So if your playstyle involves you moving from a dead stop out of the triple threat or something else like that, then yeah, acceleration might matter to you. But other than that, it does not matter to an extent, like I said earlier. What I mean by that is that you only need acceleration to meet certain thresholds for badges like Speed Booster, because a badge like Speed Booster is going to affect how fast you move across the court. But Gold Speed Booster, you can go with the 73 acceleration and you won't feel a difference when it comes to how fast you're moving. If you had 80 acceleration or 90 acceleration, that 73 unlocking Gold Speed Booster is going to have you moving the same way. And then with the 92 speed and a 77 acceleration, you get Hall of Fame Speed Booster, and that's as high as you need to go. Since we're on the topic of speed and acceleration, let's talk about what the speed attribute actually impacts. I feel like a lot of people think that speed does a lot more than it actually does, but all speed impacts this year is your off-ball movement and your defense. So when you're running up and down the court or trying to get open off-ball, then you're going to be using your speed. I really feel like any build can get away with not having a high speed except for lockdowns. If you have a lockdown, you definitely want to make sure you put your speed as high as possible so that you can cut off those real fast guards. This right here is mainly for my guards, but the best dribble style in the game is Kyrie Irving. And the requirement you're going to need for Kyrie Irving is a 90 speed with ball and a height under 6'5". So basically all my short, fast builds. So if you're making a smaller build, you definitely want to make sure that you meet that requirement. Another requirement you want to reach is a 95 speed with ball and height under 6'5". And this right here unlocks Steve Francis' signature size up, which in my opinion is the best signature size up in the game. And when you pair it with Kyrie Irving on your small builds, you're pretty much unguardable. I feel like a lot of people should know this, but I'm going to add it into this video just for that one person who might not know. So in 2K24, you can stack badges. This has been a thing in previous 2Ks, but I feel like every year it gets a little bit cheesier. For example, this year, lockdowns are stacking right stick, ripper, and glove. So all they gotta do is flick that right stick, and 9 out of 10 times you're gonna get ripped. But you can also stack offensive badges like Green Machine, Agent 3s, and Deadeye, just to name a few. All of these will stack and give you a bigger boost to your green window. Now I want to talk about the meta heights for all positions. For guards, one of the meta heights is going to be 6'2", which is basically going to be an offensive heavy build with the best attributes you can get as a guard, but it has no defense. Next is 6'4" builds, and they can almost do everything on offense, but they're going to be a little bit slower than your 6'2" and not as good stats, but you'll be able to contest more shots and play a little bit better defense. Now for the height that may be the cheesiest, and that's the 6'6" guard. You can play defense, dribble, shoot. You're basically the 6'8s and the 6'9s from 2K23. But the bad thing is you don't get the best jump shot animation or the best sigs. Moving on to lockdowns, the height you're going to go with is 6'6" all the way to 6'8". Your 6'6" locks are going to be a really fast locks that are good on the perimeter, and then on the other end you have your 6'8" locks that are more bumpy and can protect the rim better. And then you got the 6'7" locks, which are basically right in the middle of the other two. You're not the best at one thing, but you're pretty decent at everything. So this is going to be your all-around lock. Onto our centers, I will go anywhere from 6'8" to 7 foot, and it should be obvious, but your small popper centers are going to be the most all-around when it comes to offense, but they're going to lack defense, strength, and rebounding. The taller you go, the more physical you will be, but when it comes to shooting, it'll be a bit harder because you don't get certain jump shot animations and your 3-ball can't go as high. This next thing that I really wish I found out earlier in the builder that I saw NBA 2K Toots found in the test, that the higher you go on your weight, the faster you lose stamina. So I can make a 6'6" build with lowest weight and highest weight, and that one with the higher weight is going to lose stamina faster than the one with lower weight. I really think this is important when it comes to bigger locks or smaller locks, and whenever you're making ISO guards and you want to put more weight on your build or put less weight. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video and you learned something that you might not have known before, hit that like button for me because it helps the video get pushed out to more people. The height requirements for the best jump shot bases that you should know whenever deciding what height to go with. For my smaller guards, Steph Curry base requires a height under 6'5" with a 91 mid-range or a 91 3-pointer. Kevin Porter Jr., also another good base for my smaller guards. You also need to be under 6'5" with a 91 mid-range or a 91 3-pointer. For my taller guards and lock spotting up, JT Thor base requires you to be at least 6'5" and under 6'10" with a 79 midi or a 79 3-pointer. For my build 6'10 plus, the best base is going to be Dwight Powell, and you'll need to at least be 6'10" with an 80 mid-range or an 80 3-pointer. A few of these things that I talked about have been in past 2Ks, but this one is new to 2K24, and that's that you cannot unlock all the animations just from the builder. There's a handful of animations like Trae Young fade, Michael Jordan dribble style, and Michael Jordan dunk package that you won't be able to unlock until you hit starter 3. You also probably noticed that this year in the builder, you cannot not choose your body type. And that's because your body type this year is something that you have to unlock. And it's based on how many stars you can get in a Gatorade workout facility. On my guard right now, my current build is slight and my next body type is strong, and I'll be able to unlock that whenever I get 13 stars. This next thing is something that I'm almost positive you didn't know, and that's that your ball handle affects more than just dribbling. NBA 2K Toots did test over this. Shout out NBA 2K Toots, super clutch. But your ball handle is tied to your hand rating. Having a higher hand rating gives you better transitions when you're shooting the ball. Also, whenever you take that first step to go dribble, and you can get better catch animations from down court if you have a higher ball handle / hand rating. If you enjoyed this video over some of the things you might not know about the NBA 2K24 builder, check out this video right here where I'll give you 21 more things that you might not know about 2K24 in general.